They always thought I was just a warrior, a fighter, a saint chasing strength. But they never understood what I was truly becoming. Not a god, not a hero, not someone to worship, but someone to fear. A man who didn't fight for applause, but because he couldn't ignore the calling. Because peace means nothing if you're too weak to protect it. I didn't train to become the strongest. I trained to become unstoppable when it mattered, to let go of thought, of limits, of fear, until instinct replaced identity, until the war within me became silence. I don't need rage to win. I don't need praise to rise. I need only one thing, to keep going. Even when the world ends, I will still move forward. They told me I'd reached my peak, that this was it, my final form, my last breath of potential. They spoke as if limits were holy commandments, as if the ceiling they hit was supposed to become my prison. But I was never built to obey boundaries made by men who fear pain. I don't follow maps drawn by the broken. I burn them, because limits aren't real. They're just fear, hiding behind the mask of logic. A scientific lullaby for those too weak to suffer for greatness. They said, no one goes beyond this. That's because no one dares to suffer more than required. But I do. I wasn't born to improve. I was born to ascend. To rip apart every definition the world has for human. To evolve beyond the flesh, the failure, the fear. You don't level up by playing safe. You level up by walking into storms so violent, they erase your past self, and when lightning strikes, you either burn or become the flame itself. Hell didn't break me, it baptized me. It handed me the blueprint to immortality through agony, through madness, through solitude. Discipline became my religion. Silence became my sword. And pain? Pain became the professor that every god once knelt to. You don't transcend by force. You transcend when you let go of everything that makes you ordinary. Your doubt, your comfort, your name. Because there comes a point in every warrior's life where you stop trying to beat others and start becoming the final version of yourself. Not Goku, not Saiyan, not Legend, but a force beyond comprehension. When I stood face to face with Jiren, I didn't feel rage. I didn't feel fear. I didn't feel anything. No ego, no noise, just silence. And in that silence, I realized something terrifying. I wasn't fighting him. I was fighting everything I used to be. The version of me that needed to win. That trained out of fear. That sought strength just to prove I was enough. But that version was gone. Dead. What stood there was something else entirely. Not Goku the warrior. Not the hero. But the essence of power itself. I was empty. But I was lethal. Dangerously calm. That's the moment I evolved. Not by screaming louder, but by going still. Not by chasing power, but by becoming the kind of man power bends to. That's Ultra Instinct. No more hesitation. No past. No future. Only now. Sharpened to a blade. It's not about being faster. It's about being so present. Time can't even find you. And here's the truth. No one tells you. The moment you stop proving, you become undeniable. The moment you stop fighting for respect, you become it. You don't become unstoppable by being angry. You become unstoppable by being empty. So nothing can break you. That's what it means to ascend. That's what it means to awaken. I've died more than once. Not just in body, but in soul. There were moments I forgot who I was. Moments where I looked in the mirror and saw nothing but a ghost wearing my skin. I've been buried under doubt, drowned in silence, shattered by the very gods I worshipped. Everything I loved, gone. Everything I trusted, turned against me. But here's the truth. I didn't disappear. I evolved. I turned death into fuel. Every time I was broken, I sharpened. Every time I was left behind, I built in the shadows. Every time they said I was finished, I came back with fire in my veins and vengeance in my breath. Because when you've touched the void, When you've kissed death and spat in its face, you no longer fear endings. You become the ending. You don't wait. You don't hope. You hunt. You adapt. You rise. Pain became my professor. Grief became my compass. And death? Death became my greatest teacher. Now, I don't blink when things fall apart. I don't shiver when I'm alone. Because I finally understand. The dead don't cry. The living don't beg. We conquer. We rebuild. We rewrite fate with blood if we have to. You either rise like fire or rot like the forgotten. They say I smile when I fight. Number, I smile because I've already accepted what pain feels like. They think I love the battle. They don't understand. I fight because I've seen what happens when warriors get soft. I've seen planets burn, families torn, dreams vanish. Not because evil was strong, but because good men stayed weak. So I became the last line, the one who trains in the dark so you can sleep in peace. The one who pushes past limits so you don't have to bury your heroes. I train when the body screams no. Lead when no one cares. Master forms no mind can process, because I don't chase power. I chase prevention. This isn't power. This is obsession forged into purpose. This is instinct carved by suffering. This is what happens when you carry the weight of worlds and refuse to collapse. I fight alone because if I fall, everything else falls with me. I didn't scream to reach Ultra Instinct. I went silent. Because real power doesn't roar, it listens. I didn't conquer rage. I dissolved it, burned it into stillness, refined it into something divine. They call me a hero. I never asked for that. They call me a god. I don't want their throne, because I built something greater than a kingdom. I built control over myself, while they sought strength through validation. I trained when no one watched. I bled when no one cared. And I kept going. Not to win, but because stopping was never an option. You want Ultra Instinct? It's not a form. It's not a flash. It's the death of ego. It's the birth of absolute focus. No anger, no doubt, no fear. Just you and your next move. You just unlocked the Ultra Instinct mindset. This isn't about revenge. This isn't about applause. This is about becoming untouchable, not just in power, but in presence, where power whispers and evolution never ends. Join us, because in a world addicted to noise, you better become the silence that makes them shiver.